Key on?
The key is on.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Oh, we both did it.
Sid purchased her very first motorcycle a couple weeks ago. This marked her very first foray into the two-wheeled world that I love so much. Her motorcycle of choice to begin this cageless journey, the new Honda Trail125. She picked it out based on her own research, without a test drive or even seeing one in a dealership. If she had asked me what she should buy, a Trail125 would not have been on my top 25 list, but I'm completely supportive of her choice and think she picked exactly the right bike for her. Maybe this bike is the way in, the gateway drug for the pillions. After all, many of you probably have stories from learning to ride on one of the preceding models, the Trail90 or Trail110. All too often, seasoned riders get enamored with having a machine that can go farther, faster, harder than ever before. But that's not the ideal for a beginning rider. Even though this bike wasn't on my radar, I didn't know they had reintroduced the Trail with a CT125 engine. I think it's the perfect first bike. The Trail125, with its small, reliable engine, semi-automatic clutch, low seat height, and easy maintenance, are more than suited to the rookie rider. I'm extremely excited and happy to see her start this journey. More than that, I want to be able to experience the journey with her. It's been over 30 years since my first ride, and seeing this sport through fresh eyes is a delight. I want to share my motorcycle passion from the road, not the driveway. I can't do that with my current stable of bikes. My GS 1200 and the DRZ 400 just carry far too much displacement. For us to have a shared riding experience, I need to find my way to a smaller sized bike. So after Sid brought her 2021 Trail home, I picked up a 1978 Trail90 that needs to be preserved. I'm ready to test out the fun to be had making a slow bike go fast, and I can already tell that I'm going to get in a lot of trouble on this thing. The trail bikes of the 60s, 70s, or 80s saw Honda CT bikes as a regular part of the motorcycling landscape. They were beloved for their simple operations and go-anywhere design. The Trail series is also one of the best-selling bikes over the course of those 3 decades, with over 725,000 units sold. So far, it's been fun to compare the 2021 with its 43-year-old predecessor. The Honda CT90 Trail was produced from 1968 to 1979 in North America, and later lived on in the form of the CT110 from 1980 to 1986. The CT was a non-intimidating introduction to the world of motorcycling and epitomized the 1960s, "You meet the nicest people on a Honda" advertising slogan. The Trail125 seems to be steeped deeply in the nostalgia of that age-old Honda tradition. Sid's bike and my Trail90 share the same 4-speed semi-automatic transmission, heel-toe shifter, rugged build, and mildly tuned off-road suspension that sets them a step apart from the other minis and scooters. The two bikes, despite a 4-decade age gap, evoke a similar feeling of camping trips, buzzing around town, and off-road shenanigans. We are excited to test out how each handles in the dirt, hills, mud, and moto camping trips. Sid will also use hers as a commuter vehicle on her 1.5 30-mile-per-hour round-trip daily commute. Both bikes have a step-through frame design with spoked wheels. Setting next to each other, they have the same long upswept muffler with heat shield cooling fins, a bulging airbox with high-mounted snorkel. The front of the new model is strikingly similar to the old Trail90, with the same giant U-shaped handlebars, large turn signals, single front headlight bucket, and a uniquely designed metal fender. Dual-wheel shocks and large utility racks mirror one another on the back end of the motorcycles. The 2021 model even sports some minor details, such as the same waffle hand grips and a large diameter front wheel hub to mimic the drum brake look from the 60s and 70s. Honda hit the nail on the head with an updated look of the classic Honda trail bikes. Both bikes have a Kickstarter kickstand and center stand. The protection package for both consists of a skid plate and pipe guards. Both look right at home with the addition of a milk crate or plastic tote on the back. A few things were omitted from the old design. The 2021 Trail125 has not carried forward the dual high-low transmission from the older models. I'll be sure to test the need for a low gear in the field during a future video. The swivel lock handlebar that let you turn your handlebars parallel to the front wheel for transport has been omitted. This feature on my bike will really help us fit 2 bikes in the bed of my Ram to transport it on longer trips. While I might tear up the highway miles on my GS to find an off-road spot, these bikes might require some shuttling. The swivel may get some use. Also, the passenger foot pegs have been deleted from the new model, while standard on the older bike. That is okay for our purposes. We'll continue to use the GS for 2-up trips. Sid's bike does have some notable upgrades, starting with the updated engine. The 125 power plant is the same as on Honda's Grom, Super Cub, and Monkey. The new EFI is a welcome improvement. Her motorcycle features the addition of an electric start while retaining the ability to kickstart if necessary. The cockpit has been updated with a nice digital display that includes a fuel gauge. Modern LED headlights, LED turn signals bring the bike into the 21st century. But notice how the similar size and placement is. Honda really played attention to the detail and kept that classic big round headlight and the flirty winkers from the 1960s. They win style points here on top of the functionality of the upgrade. I'm considering my options for the older 6-volt light kit to add visibility. Preservation may need to give way to safety on this one. One of Honda's best moves was adding front wheel ABS. It is a modern day upgrade and one of the selling points of this little bike for my wife. I could pull up the spec sheet and compare the models, however the specs are not the point of the Honda Trail125. Sid didn't buy this bike for the specs and you won't either. Horsepower is low, miles per hour is slow, and no new technology is on the table. This little character-laden bike is measured purely on grins per mile. Let's see how far that takes us.